Yeah. Welcome back. In the last class, we have seen a single area system. We have also gone through the dynamic response of the system. So I'm gonna have a quick look at that one before proceeding any further. Yeah, this was the single area system which we were discussing in the last class. We have performed the steady state analysis and dynamic response of this system. So there are two incremental inputs. One is power command, the other one is the demand. Now what we had, normally the demand, as the demand varies, the frequency will be varied. So to counter that one, to bring back the frequency to normal value, we will be changing the manual speed change setting. This is what happens in a single area system. Okay, this particular change in frequency is called as area controller. Okay, it is called as area controller, normally referred to as ACE. So in this case, it is delta F of this. This is area control error. Okay. So every time when the demand varies, we use it to vary this speed change setting manually in order to restore the frequency to normal value. Yes, but it was very difficult. Nobody intends to vary manually every time for every change in demand. So what we have tried this integral controller. We have taken this one. We have taken this integral controller and fed it back as a negative feedback in place of demand. In place of manual power setting. This is what we have done in the last class. What we have done, we have taken ACE and we have, this is ACE, right? What here we are doing, we are integrating this one and we are giving it as a negative feedback to the system. What is the advantage of this one? Instead of having a manual setting, my system automatically adjusts so as to give a final steady state value, steady state error of 0. So my frequency adopts itself for any change in demand. Why? Because I have employed an integral controller and I'm giving an integral of area controller as a signal, feedback signal. This is what we have studied in the last class. This all refers to a single area. This is all refers to a single area. As already discussed in the last class, at the start of the unit. Single area can be any district or any town, or it can be any area under one company. We will take it as NPDCL as one area. Okay. So single area is NPDCL. Now there will be another areas also. SPDCL. In neighboring states, we do have again AP NPDCL and APD SPDCL. In Tamil Nadu also we do have. So all these units, they will be having transmission lines between them, isn't it? Like this, there will be transmission lines between them. This area, this figure represents the control system of one single area. Now we will consider two areas along with a transmission line between them. Let's see how we can control the frequencies in this area and this area. For a single area, what we are doing for any changes in demand, the changes in frequency are controlled by an integral controller. Now let's see a two-area system, and let's see how the demand varies in these two areas, and the frequencies can be how the frequencies are controlled in these two areas. Okay, so moving ahead now. I'm going to consider a two-area system. So the modeling of a single area is already been done. So what I should do, I should model now a transmission line. Okay. Now, first of all, we'll start with modeling of transmission line now. And then we will go ahead with the two-area system. Okay. So before going any further with modeling of transmission line, modeling of transmission. Okay. Before going any further with modeling of transmission line, as you know, transmission line, it transmits power between 2 points A and B, isn't it? Let us suppose the 2 points are at an angle of V1 delta 1, V2 delta 2, and the transmission line is having a reactance of X12. So power transfer. Okay, I'll take this one as area 1 and this is area 2. Okay, power transfer from A1 to A2, often referred to as P tie 1 to 2. Power on the transmission line from area 1 to 2. Okay, this is given as V1 V2 by X12 sine delta 1 minus delta 2. Similarly, power transmitted from 2 to 1 is V1 V2 X21, both are same X12 and X21. Here what you will be getting delta 2 minus delta 1. Okay, only there is a change in the sign, in the values of angle. Okay, only there is a change. Here I had delta 1 2, here I do have delta 2 minus delta 1. This is a difference between the parts. Now, I am considering that V1, V2, and normally X is also is constant, so I am considering these things as constant. So what I can say, P time is a function of delta, is it? So I am going to employ my calculus knowledge here. Any change in transmission line is equal to dP tie, sorry, by d delta into change in delta, isn't it? The Taylor theorem. So now I'm going to consider for my 1 to 2 power transfer from 1 to 2. For 1 to 2, if I differentiate with respect to delta, what I'm going to get V1 V2 by X12. All these are constant. Sign will become cos delta 1 minus delta 2 into this is the term here, isn't it? This is the differential term. This is the term. All these things. This is this one, and this one. All these are functions with respect to time. Okay. Before going any further, now I would like to mention you know that omega is equal to d delta by dt, isn't it? This is what we learned in our machines. Angular velocity is the rate of change of angular displacement. This can also be written as 2 pi f, isn't it? So now I am going to take it as delta is equal to, if I convert this in differential to this side, integral of so this is going to be my 2 pi f dt, isn't it? Now let's look at this one. Now I am going to apply this one here. So before going any further with this one, I am going to consider this particular term. Let this V1 V2 by X12 into cos of delta 1 minus delta 2 is referred as T12. So remember these guys, for those who are preparing for the competitive examination, this is called a synchronizing coefficient. Okay. They will ask you what is the value of synchronizing coefficient in transmission line. This is the value of synchronizing coefficient. Okay. I am taking this one as T12. So what is this one? This is T12 into delta. I'll take it as integral of 2 pi f1. This is delta f1 minus integral of 2 pi delta f2. Both are of dt, isn't it? This is what I have obtained. So if I take 2 pi common, this is integral of f1 dt, delta f1 dt minus integral of delta F2 dt. This is the power which is being transmitted from change in power transmitted from 1 to 2. This is depending upon the change in frequency of area 1 and change in frequency of area 2. Now let's model this one into a control system representation. Now applying Laplace transform. So if I apply Laplace transform, what is this one? Delta P I 1 to 2 of S is equal to, this is 2 pi T12 into, this is integral, right? So I'll be getting 1 by S delta F1 of S minus 1 by S delta F2 of S. Isn't it? Now, I'm going to take this one outside. So what I'll be getting, delta F1 of S minus delta F2 of S. See, these two are the outputs of area 1 and area 2, isn't it? Which we have discussed in the previous class. So how to represent this one? Similarly, what is power transmitted from 2 to 1? What is the difference? Here what I will be getting F2 minus F1. Literally speaking, both are same. It's only a change in polarity, isn't it? So assuming that there is an area 1, this is giving my output as delta F1 of S, and there is an area 2, which is having an output of delta F2 of S. Both are to be summed up. This is plus, this is minus. This is F1 minus F2 to be multiplied with 2 pi T12 by S. What is this one? This is going to give me delta P tie from 1 to 2. If I multiply this one with minus 1, what I will be getting? Delta P times 2. This is a simple thing. This is a representation of a tie line. Okay. Now, where does this one go? This one goes back to here, area 1, because this is the power which is delivered by this generator to some other area, to this area. So this is to go back to your area 1. And this one goes back to your area 2. Okay. Now we will see this particular region. We will try to go with this area 1. Okay. I'll show you. Area 1, we already had a PC of S, delta PC of S. KSG by 1 plus S2SG, KT by 1 plus S2T, and here I had delta PD of S, and here KPS by 1 plus S2PS, and this was my F1 of S, right? Delta F1 of S, and this was my feedback 1 by R. This was my feedback 1 by R, isn't it? This was my single area system. Now what is coming to picture now? This F1 of S is multiplying with some delta F2 of S, delta F2 of S. This is plus, this is minus. And here I am having 2 pi T12 of S. And the output of this one is the power which is being transmitted from 1 to 2, isn't it? This is a new one which I have done so far. So where it should be given back? It should be given here, right? So this is the power which is generated here. This is the local demand. This is the power delivered to some other area. The rest will be given to the rotor. So this one also to be added here. So what I am doing here, I am transferring this one to down. This is delta PD of S. And this one will come here. Okay. So generation, this is generation, right? Generation minus local demand minus demand to other areas is to be given to the rotor. Then rotor experiences any acceleration. If your generation is not equal to local demand and external demand, then the rotor accelerates. If it is satisfied, then it will not accelerate, and so there will not be change in frequency. This is what is two-area system, uncontrolled case. I am not controlling, I am not employing any feedback controller. This is a normal thing, uncontrolled case. Single area system with skyline power. The same will be there at the other end also. Now, if you want to control this, either a change in the silent power or a change in demand is going to affect my frequency. To overcome, now earlier there was only change in demand. Now there is a request from other area also. Any changes in these two elements is going to affect my frequency. To overcome this one, what I should do? I should manually change this one. If I don't change manually this one, the system frequency will vary, which is not a desired thing, isn't it? So what I should do to overcome this one, I am supposed to provide a feedback controller, isn't it? Negative feedback controller with minus Ki. For single area system, we have done this one. Now for a two area system, this is not enough. Okay. We are supposed to give this one also as a feedback controller. This is K2 of this. This is also to be given. Now, I am going to keep a summer here. This is also to be given. Both the things are to be given here. This one also is to be integrally fed back. This one also is to be integrally fed back. Then only the system will come into control. Okay. So instead of using two controllers, what I will be doing? I'll be writing it as a gain. I'll take some B. Okay, BA. I'm just adding these two elements and I'm giving a common controller. Okay. This is what I'm doing. Instead of using two controllers, I'm using a single controller. Joining these two signals. Earlier, I used to give this one only as a feedback, only the area controller. But now what I'm doing, I'm giving my tile and power also as a feedback signal for this. Then only the system frequency will be controlled. Now we'll try to implement this one in MATLAB now. Okay. Let's see if we can implement this one in MATLAB. Okay. So I'm going to take a break in this one and then I'll start in MATLAB now. Okay.